new song for Donna Summer tonight at 7:30.
Just tell me what you meant. Why don't you think Ansel Scott is ill?
Because Mrs. Saxon doesn't think he's ill.
She actually said that?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Ian, the man was in Geneva 2 days ago.
Yes,
he may still be there.
The cable came from London.
Oh, do I have to tell you, of all people, how easy it is to send a cable from London?
Are you trying to imply that it wasn't the physician who sent the cable?
No, I'm not implying that. I'm stating flatly that your Raven sent that urgent message to herself.
That's not possible.
Ansel Scott is alive and well. And if Raven is sitting beside anyone's bedside, it's Skye Whitney's.
You know, Camilla, you'll say anything to destroy the most important relationship I've ever had.
I'm not trying to destroy your relationship. I'm trying to salvage it.
Well, you've got a very peculiar way of going about it.
When are you going to take off the blindfold?
When are you going to start minding your own business?
It is my business when you're involved. I care about you. I'm sorry I'm saying these things about the woman you want to marry. But you have your doubts. You told me you suspect that Raven and Skye had something going. Admit that.
There may have been something between them at some point, but so what?
I think it's still going on. This last event convinces me that that woman is using you shamelessly. Don't you find it odd that Raven and Skye have left town, disappeared just a few days before your wedding is to take place?
There's nothing odd about it at all. So Skye's gone away on a business trip. So what? Raven's gone to London to visit a sick stepfather. It's unfortunate. There's nothing unusual about it.
Well, if I can't convince you, maybe this will. This newspaper article says that Ansel Scott went to Geneva, Switzerland to accept an honorary degree just days ago. I would find it very difficult for the recipient of such a degree to go to Geneva if he were dying. Don't you think so?
Camilla, if this is your idea of a trump card, you better come up with something more convincing. It means nothing.
Look at the date on it. It means a great deal.
I tell you, it means nothing. He could have been ill in Switzerland. He could have fallen ill when he got back to London. There could have been any number of logical explanations. But no, you have a problem. You don't believe in logical explanations. You are determined to sabotage this relationship that I have with Raven. I tell you, you're jealous, and I'm sick up to here with it.
Good Lord, what does it take to convince you? The roof to fall in?
What does it take to convince you that I'm fed up with your ugly insinuations? Now get out of here before I do something I'll really regret.
Oh, I'll get out. If you won't accept the truth when it's in black and white in front of your face, I give up.
Somehow, I doubt that.
You can have this as a memento. File it under S for stupidity. Oh.
Yes, hello, operator. I'd like to make an international call, please. To London, England. The party I wish to speak to is called Scott. Mr. Ansel Scott.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Mild Ivory Liquid. It helps hands stay young-looking. And by Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean. He helps keep no-wax floors shining bright.
Happy birthday!
Oh, Jimmy, don't. The floor's wet. No, it's dry. I washed it hours ago. What? Oh, you're kidding. Wow, that shine made me think it was wet. Using something new for your no-wax floor?
Yep, new Lemon Bright Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean is new?
Sure is. It's a whole new Mr. Clean. New Lemon Bright color, new fragrance.
Terrific. Really lemony.
And a new brightening formula that's even better than before.
I'll say. It really shines. And no dull film or streaks.
Even Armstrong approves it for my no-wax Solarian floor.
With a shine like this, I approve, too.
New Lemon Bright Mr. Clean brings out a no-wax shine so bright, you may wonder, is it wet or is it dry?
No, it's dry.
She's 25. So she.
One of these hikers isn't 25, but 37. She's Michael Pfeffer, mother of 2. They both look young. But what about their hands? They look young, too.
Look
looking young is no accident. I take care of myself, especially when I do dishes. That's why I use Ivory liquid. The name Ivory has always meant mildness to me, so I know it'll treat my hands gently. These mild suds help my hands stay young-looking, even with lots of dishes.
Take another look. Who's 37?
I'm 37.
You sure look young.
Well, hiking helps.
What helps your hands?
Ivory liquid. My hands need that mildness.
Mild Ivory liquid helps hands look young.
Oh, you want something?
You'll have to pardon my surprise, Gunther, but I'm struck dumb.
That'll be the date.
No, I mean it.
So, what are you so speechless about all of a sudden?
Well, the mere thought of you reading anything but a racing form is astounding, and here I find you reading a book.
So, what's so unusual about a guy reading a book?
Gunther, there are some minds that are born to absorb knowledge like a sponge. There are other mentalities that... Well, never mind. Just, why don't you tell me what you're reading?
It's nothing. It's just...
Oh, come on. Let me see
just
it.
forget it, huh?
You're not into porno, are you?
You kidding? I only read what I don't know about.
Let me see here. Now, come on, just a moment. A baby book. Why, Gunther, this is a book on how to raise a happy and healthy baby. How touching.
Give me that.
Let's see. Now, here's an interesting chapter on emergency procedures before imminent birth. Gunther, you're not considering the career as a midwife, are you?
Give me that. Give me that.
All right.
Man, you've got a weird sense of humor, you know that?
Well, that's not as far out an idea as you considering parenthood. Now, that would be weird.
Would you lay off?
All right, all right. Besides, that's nothing you have to worry about anyway, is it? I mean, Nora is dead. I imagine your sense of relief is rather large. The best joke of all is that she never planned to have that baby in the first place.
Yeah, well, I knew about that all along.
You did not. She had you fooled all along. Why else would there be a baby book as the only book in your library?
It wasn't my book. It was Nora's.
Well, and she was using it as an interesting prop to dupe you even further. You know something, Gunther? I get the feeling that you weren't all that unhappy about the idea of becoming a father. Am I right?
It was the marrying that I didn't want. But a baby might have been kind of fun.
So you must have been very displeased when you learned the truth.
Well, actually, I really didn't know about it until after.
Now, are you sure, Gunther? Now, be very careful. The police might think that you had still another reason for wanting Nora dead.
Hmm? What?
Well, they might get the idea that you were sore because she didn't want to have the baby that you wanted. Now, if I were you, I'd get rid of that book. Then you won't have to explain to anyone what a damn fool you are.
Hey, you're real cute, you know that, Spencer? You really know how to make a guy feel comfortable. Anyway, they've already found Nora's killer, so I don't have to worry about anything. And you don't have to worry either. About Nora, that is.
Why would I have anything to worry about in the first place, Gunther?
Well, if you'll remember, and I think you do, there was a matter of some information that Nora knew about corporate bribery in one of the boss's companies. She had the drop on Mr. Whitney, all right, and she would have used it to keep her job here. Now, everybody knows that whatever affects Mr. Whitney affects you because you would be standing in line if it wasn't for him. Now, the way I figure it, you had every reason to want Nora dead because you are the perfect company man. In fact, I wouldn't put it past you.
Why don't you go read your baby book, Gunther?
Hey, buddy. Come on, don't get so hot and bothered. Nora's gone bye-bye. You don't have to be afraid of anything. Neither do I.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna put you over here. Menu is on the blackboard, and I'll be with you in a minute.
Thanks, Miss.
And another thing, you've been dragging your feet from table to table the last few days, I've noticed. Look, honey, I don't want to pry or anything like that. But is there something worrying you besides the restaurant, I mean?
I'm okay, really. I'm fine.
Yeah, Yeah? Because I think there's one thing that we should get straight between us. If we're going to be partners, that means we got to share the load, whatever it might be. Hey, I got big shoulders, so let me carry some of it, will you?
Bobby, I think I go crazy sometimes, you know. I just can't get my mind off of some things. I can't stop thinking about Nicole Kavanaugh.
Well, I know she's a good friend of yours, but
Does Damien ever talk to you about the case?
only in passing. He doesn't say very much about his work.
No, I can't get Cliff to talk about it either. He's such a stickler for confidentiality.
He can't help that. He's an ethical guy.
Yeah, too much sometimes.
Anyway, there's not much anybody can do for poor Mrs. Kavanaugh. A confession means that the case is over, and then the next thing they do is sentence her to a jail term, right?
But it's so unfair. I mean, it's so wrong, Poppy.
Mitzi, can we order?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Babs, what do you want?
I would like the Mediterranean omelet, please.
Mediterranean omelet. You got it, Gus.
Number 3 and some apple juice.
Number 3, apple juice. Okay.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yeah, I got it. All right, bye.
Look, honey, maybe she's a nice lady and all that, but the fact remains that Mrs. Kavanaugh's got to pay for what she did to Nora Fulton.
Poppy, it is that awful person that should have gone to jail. Poppy, you don't realize that Mrs. Kavanaugh may spend the rest of her life in prison. Poppy, it's not fair.
Hey, take it easy, will you? Look, honey, naturally you're going to feel sympathy for Jody and her folks, but what's the point in losing sleep over it? I mean, if you ask me, I think you're taking this whole thing much too personally.
Oh, I can't help it. It's just the way I am, I guess.
Coffee. What's wrong with Missy?
I can't answer that, Damien. I'm really not sure.
If you really want a perm, get a Tony. Real curl, real bounce, real swing, bop, bop. If you really want a perm, get a Tony. Real curl, real bounce, real swing, bop, bop.
If you want it to last,
Tony,
get a real perm.
Tony.
The soft and lasting perm.
If you really want a perm, get a Tony. Real curl, real bounce, real swing, bop,
See how good you can look?
If you really want a perm, get a Tony. Real curl, real bounce, real swing, Tony.
The soft and lasting perm.
Real swing.
What's for dinner, Dove?
Dinty, dear.
Ducky.
No, Dinty.
Oh.
Try Dinty Moore, America's favorite beef stew. It's a real meat and potatoes meal.
Hello, Dinty. Stop the music, you're repeating. Dinty Moore.
Try Dinty Moore beef stew.
Serve it again, Mom.
Well, well, we find the dashing young producer in his office this morning.
Such as it is. Listen, did you call the play brokers in New York?
Pardon?
The play brokers. Did you get them yesterday?
Oh, yes, I did, but I called too late and the office was closed.
All right, we'll try again today, will you? I cannot figure out final figures until I know what the royalties are going to cost us.
Of course.
Also, we have to figure out new ways to generate publicity, especially to kick off the subscription series. Will you call Mrs. Saxon at WMON and find out if she can see me anytime this week?
Mrs.
Saxon, WMON.
Yes, of course, Miss Saxon.
I was also thinking that maybe I'd be able to... Camilla.
Yes.
You're not listening.
Oh, but I am.
Yeah, but from a distance. What's the matter with you anyway?
I'm sorry, Gavin, if I seem distracted. I guess I left my mind at home this morning.
How come?
Oh, I started the day off great. I had another fight with my brother.
Oh, it's going to be a regular habit, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. You know, it's funny. When we were children, we seemed to get along great. But now, we can't even say good morning to one another without some friction.
Too bad you had to grow up.
My brother used to be so even-tempered. Now he flies off the handle every time I mention this subject.
The subject of?
Raven Alexander, the future Mrs. Zian Devereaux.
Ah, yes, I thought as much. But if that's the case, Camilla, wouldn't it be better just to avoid the subject?
Oh, infinitely better. But, Gavin, I see my brother headed towards this precipice, and I am determined to save him from himself.
Camilla, I have no right to advise you on much of anything, but in this case, I'm going to make an exception. Play it smart and keep away from it. There's no way you're going to make points by trying to come between your brother and the woman he loves. He won't thank you for it, even if you're right.
Well, that's just it, Gavin. I know I'm right.
Well, I'll tend to agree with you there.
Oh, You mean you've seen this woman in action?
Well, let's just say that we've had 1 or 2 encounters of the third kind.
You see, you agree with me. Why won't Ian?
Because, like I said, he's wearing blinders. And he'll resent everything that you're trying to do from hereafter.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to find some way to realize she's won and I've lost, and I think the way I'm going to have to do it is to eliminate myself from the scene entirely. I'll just have to move out of the house.
That sounds wise, yes.
As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to wait for the wedding. I'm going to start looking for an apartment right now.
I have an idea that that would be best for all concerned.
You know, Gavin, I still don't know this town very well. Do you think you could advise me?
Sure, I guess. I mean, if I have time.
Well, you see, I've already circled some apartments in the classified ad. Since you know the neighborhoods, do you think at lunchtime we could go and look at a couple of places?
All right, I guess that's enough time to do that.
You were so nice and so comforting.
Hello? Yes, that's right, London. Yes, thank you, operator. Hello, I'd like to speak to Mr. Ansel Scott, please.
This is he?
Oh. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm fine, thanks. May I ask who's calling?
Oh, yes, of course, I'm sorry. My name is Ian Devereux.
Well, you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Devereux. I'm afraid your name is not familiar to me.
No, I didn't expect it would be. But I thought I'd call just to contact you, because, you see, I'll be marrying your stepdaughter, Raven, sir.
Good Lord. Voices from the past. Well, where are you calling from, anyway?
Monticello.
So, Raven is about to take the 4th step towards the altar.
Yes.
You have my very best wishes, I assure you.
Well, thank you. I just thought that perhaps she might have mentioned it to you.
My dear Mr. Devereux, Raven hasn't been in touch with me since her mother's death, nearly 3 years ago.
Oh, I see. Well, may I inquire about your health?
Did you say about my health?
Yes.
Well, it's absolutely first class, I assure you, and thank you for asking, but... Why? Did Raven describe me to you as a doddering old crock?
Oh, no. Nothing of the kind. It's nice talking to you. Thank you. If ever we get to London, of course, we'll come and visit you. All right. Bye-bye. Camilla was right.
I'm getting worried about her, Damien.
Why?
She has some sort of a fixation about the Nora Fulton case. Every chance she gets, she's talking about it. It's like she's obsessed.
That's funny. I can never get her to talk about it when Calvin and I are around. I thought it was because she'd had so many bad experiences around Nora Fulton.
I don't know, but she keeps harping on what's going to happen to Jody's sister. She worries about it like it's happening to her. It's getting to the point where it's kind of unhealthy, you know?
Well, maybe she's just overwhelmed with sympathy for him.
Maybe.
This looks like a good apartment. 1 bedroom, furnished, 3rd floor, view of park. It's on Leicester Avenue. That's a good neighborhood.
Well, Gavin, let's look at that apartment first, then.
Oh, my gosh. They're gonna live together.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Devereux, please come in.
Thank you. I'd like to see Mr. Varney privately.
Yes, sir. He's in the study, right there.
Thank you. Hello, Spencer.
Hello, Ian. Please, have a seat.
No, thanks.
What can I do for you?
I'd like you to tell me where I can find Mr. Whitney.
Well, I don't know.
You don't expect me to believe that. You're his business manager, and he's away on business. Or so I've heard reportedly. Now, if there was some sort of an emergency, how would you know where to get him?
Well, Ian, I apologize. You are right. I do know where he is, of course, but I'm not allowed to divulge his whereabouts.
I understand. But since I'm his oldest friend, surely you can make an exception.
Well, I'd like to, yes, but I can't really go against orders now, can I?
Well, perhaps this might help to persuade you. I'm sorry, it was foolish of me. I admire your loyalty, and I'm sure Mr. Whitney does too. But let me impress upon you, this is a matter of life and death.
I'm sorry if your business with Mr. Whitney is of such a serious nature, but please understand my position. I was left explicit instructions, and he made no exceptions when he left.
Oh, yes, I understand. But let me tell you again, reaching him is of the utmost importance to me.
Well, in that case, there is one thing I can do. If you would care to leave a message with me, I'll make sure that he gets it.
All right. I'll settle for that. Would you tell him to call me this evening between 8 and 10? I'll be at home.
8 and 10. Of course I will.
Thank you, Spencer. You won't regret this.
Oh, I'm sure I won't, Ian, and I'm sure that Mr. Whitney would like for me to offer the hospitality of his house to you. May I get you a cocktail?
Fine.
Scotch?
Scotch would be great.
Excuse me.
Week of February. Reservation, Mr. Whitney. Savoy Beekman, New York City.
Here you are, Ian. I hope this is satisfactory.
Thanks. Oh, and by the way, there's no need to call Mr. Whitney. As much as I need to speak to him, I won't be at home this evening, after all.
The search for high-quality television classics ends right here on USA. Stay tuned for the longest-running daytime drama on television. Search for Tomorrow, next.
Wednesday, the secret's out.
Do your parents know what happened to you?
Dynasty.
Thursday nights, there's a comedy banquet right here on ABC.
I just bought a condo. So did I, right next door to him. Que mala suerte la mía.
My sentiments exactly. And you'll never guess who's on after condo.
Lee Arthur.
Oh, you guessed.
She's running a hotel. It's called Amanda's.
You'll hear plenty from her when she joins us on Thursday nights.
God'll get you for that, Ted.
Yeah, it takes two and a lot more.
How come they get to mention the title of their show?
Tomorrow, you're invited to the ABC Thursday Comedy Banquet.
Right? Oh, she's here. You okay? Hi. Thanks for coming, Madge. We're warming up for my show.
Our first exercise, ladies, hide the hands.
It's dishwashing. What'll I try?
Everything. And use palm-olive liquid. You're softening in it.
Feels soft, like a lotion. Must be mild. But how does it clean?
Beautifully. Makes a whole sink full of thick, long-lasting suds. And palm-olive softens hands while you do dishes.
Madge, you and Palmolive really shape up.
You should see us in a bathing suit. Remember, palm-olive softens hands while you do dishes.
Is it that combines orange, tangerine, and lime? Florida citrus punch from Sunny Delight.
In the morning, noon, and night, who's got the drink that's right?
Florida citrus punch from Sunny
what happens to garbage after it sits around a while? It starts to smell, and bacteria grow. Well, here's how to handle that problem. Introducing new Glad deodorant large kitchen garbage bags. They've been working right here, and even after 24 hours, they're still working. These bags contain a tough bacteria fighter to resist the growth of odor-causing germs on the bag, and a powerful deodorant to keep the kitchen smelling fresh and clean. New Glad deodorant large kitchen garbage bags. It's what you don't smell that counts.
Wait! Wait!
Get a little closer.
Thanks.
Don't be shy. Get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry.
To get close, I trust Arid. Only Arid has a patent on this formula that fights wetness. No leading deodorant spray stops odor better. And Arid also has a baby fresh scent that's, baby fresh on you.
Last stop.
So soon?
Get a little closer. Arid Baby Fresh Scent, tough on wetness and odor.
Baby fresh on you.